Hello, my name is Diandra.
And my name is Ricky Amanah.
In this video, we'll be talking about Francisco de Sade Miranda.
He is a leading Portuguese literature figure in the 16th century, so please enjoy the video.
The 16th century was the beginning of the Renaissance phase of literature among the aristocracy. It is also considered to be a golden age for Portuguese literature that was heavily influenced by the Italian style of writing. The return of poet Francisco de Sade Miranda from Italy in 1526 after a 6-year stay there started a literary reform. For that, he quickly became a prominent figure in the Portuguese 16th century literature scene. Francisco de Sade Miranda was born in Coimbra, the son of the canon Gonçalo Mendes de Sá, belonging to the ancient and noble family of Sá and of Inês de Melo. He spent his early years by the banks of the river Montego, considered a source of inspiration to many other poets. He made his first studies of Greek, Latin, and philosophy in the College of the Santa Cruz Monastery, and in 1505 went to the University of Lisbon to study law. He lived mainly in the capital until 1521, attending the royal court and taking part in poetical improvisations there, while also writing poems in the medieval style, which was still dominant in Portugal at the time. Then he traveled to Italy in the years from 1521 to 1526. He met the acquaintance of many writers and artists of the Renaissance, including Giovanni Rucellai, Lattanzio Tolomei, and Jacopo Sanazzaro. He also met the illustrious Vittoria Colonna, a distant connection of his family.
By the time he returned home in 1526, he had become familiar with Italian first form and meters. His play, Os Estrangeiros, The Foreigner, written about 1527, was the first Portuguese prose comedy in the classical manner, and he wrote another, Os Pandos, about 1528, published 1560. His Cleopatra, written 1550, of which only a dozen lines survive, was probably the first Portuguese classical tragedy. By 1528, Sade Miranda made his first attempt to introduce the new Renaissance form of verse by writing in Spanish the canzone titled Fabula do Mondego, Fable of the Mondego, and this was followed a year or two later by the Eclogue Alexo. He introduced the sonnet, the elegy, the eclogue, the autofarima, and the other classical poetic form, adapting the Portuguese language to the Italian hendecasyllable verse. And like many Portuguese writers of his time, Sade Miranda often wrote in Castilian apart from Portuguese. This form, especially the sonnet and autofarima, were later used by many Portuguese poets, and most notably by Luís Vaz de Camões. About 1530, the year he married, he left Lisbon and settled on his country estate in Minho. It is in this later period that he produced the best part of his work, the Eclogue Basto, the Cartas, and the Satire, in which he showed himself a stern critic of contemporary society. Some of the sonnets of this period combine a grave tenderness of feeling and refinement of thought with the simplicity of expression. Under Sade Miranda influence, Portuguese poetry became higher in aim, purer in tone, and broader in sympathy.
His main achievement was the introduction in Portugal of the Renaissance poetic and dramatic forms, and the spirit of this literary period.